iCITY is taking two buildings, purpose-built to broadcast the games to the world, the most broadcast event in living history, and we're going to take it and turn it into an innovation centre with technology startups, incubator space, business development funds through venture capital and private equity community, a university campus with Loughborough University coming on site, Hackney Community College delivering an apprenticeship, office space where people can then grow their companies and put it all together in one location with a theatre, 600-seat theatre, a public square where you've got restaurants and bars and coffee shops, and it's on a fantastic location of the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park. Creation of the jobs comes through the employment of business startup space, incubator space, new startup company growing 1, 2, 10 people. Major corporates want to coming on board to put their R&D units and their development and own innovation spaces next to the incubator spaces because they want their staff to actually learn innovation and to rub up against these new young people who are creating new businesses so that can actually translate into their own companies. Universities, 1,000 students coming through in masters and postgraduate research programs with 100 staff on site. Television stations locating at iCITY, studios to produce and then post-production studios to manage that content in a data centre which is all on site. Put it all together, you get to about 4,000 jobs. Looking at growth, and that's full-time equivalents. There's more if you look at some of the part-time work about running the place as well. If you look in the local area, it extends out even further, just over another 1,500 to about 6,500 jobs if you look at what's going to happen in the local area. And that's just part of the answer. You then look at that, what does that actually mean in cash terms? Well, over £300 million into local economy GDP. And then if you look across the supply chain, the development of iCITY, what it means for the rest of the country, is over £440 million GDP lift into the national economy. What we're seeing is there's a lot of movement out east anyway from the Shoreditch area. Prices of rent are going up, problems are getting onto the bandwidth and connectivity. This building offers cheap rents, huge volumes of connectivity. You said it's the most connected building in Europe. And we know that from looking at the volume of fibre that is going in there and the fact that it's just broadcasts the games globally, uninterrupted. So we don't see this as a competition, we see it as an extension, and we say this is going to be tech quarter of London. We know that the whole explosion around the tech cluster around Shoreditch is the fastest growing tech cluster in the world. We also know that in percentage terms of GDP, this sector is the largest in all the G20 countries, contributing over 7% of GDP terms, growing to over 8.5% of GDP by 2016-2018. So we don't see this as competition, we see this as growth. And if you're going to accelerate the growth, then iCITY plays a very important part of that by taking the buildings which have been purpose-built, we say, for this and exploiting that potential.